Visión comunal, en contacto con las comunidades.
Venezuela in the news. News from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Headlines. The Venezuelan electoral power announced that the recall referendum would be held in 2017, activated by national security between Venezuela and Colombia. Venezuela builds an oil refinery in China. The Venezuelan Electoral Board announced yesterday that if the requirements are met, the recall referendum against President Nicolás Maduro will be activated next year. The second stage of the process would be at the end of October, as announced by President of the National Electoral Council, Vzla Lucena. At this moment, the opposition must collect nearly 4 million signatures to request this option. In her final reflections, Lucena rejected the intromissions of multilateral organizations and foreign governments, such as the United States government, that, as she explained, quote, from time to time speaks about the Venezuelan Electoral Board as if they were experts on regulations on referendums in Venezuela or having the supranational moral authority to opine with no limits about a sovereign country's internal issues. The electoral power insisted that the political forces cannot pressure to move forward the periods of time established by the law. The Venezuelan opposition insists on violating the current regulations and demands to interrupt the constitutional time periods in their objective to remove President Nicolás Maduro from power. Voluntad Popular, labeled as a terrorist group that operates as a political party, announced protests throughout the country starting September 1st. As part of an ambitious plan of expansion, Venezuela is building a joint refinery in China that will be able to process daily 400,000 barrels of petroleum from the Orinoco oil belt. The refinery will function in the city of Zhejiang in the province of Guangdong in southern China. Venezuelan Minister of Petroleum and Mining Eulogio Del Pino informed that the oil project is already in an advanced stage of engineering. The energy sector is one of the most solid alliances between both countries that have signed 445 agreements on different areas. Caracas confirmed that only in 2015 the oil bill is approximately $90 billion. Authorities confirmed that the governments of Venezuela and Colombia activated yesterday a binational security center at the common border. Governor of Venezuelan state of Táchira, José Vielma Mora, informed about the achievements that include, first, the fight against smuggling in all its forms, second, the fight against drug trafficking, and third, the fight against criminal groups. Also, an extraordinary meeting was held between both customs, preparing for commercial trading. The Binational Center Against Transnational Organized Crime was installed in San Cristobal, capital of Táchira, in western Venezuela.
Venezuela in the news.
China and Venezuela will evaluate the international opportunities to reduce the oil transportation times from Caracas to Beijing. Spokesman of the state oil company PDVSA assured that it is planned to use the Panama Canal, recently extended. Currently, every 3 days, a tanker leaves from Venezuela and takes nearly 45 days to arrive in China. PDVSA also announced that this year it is foreseen that the construction of the terminal for crude oil storage and shiploading must be concluded in the peninsula of Araya, located in the Venezuelan state of Sucre. The Venezuelan government aims to increase the daily transport of crude oil to China for more than 1 million barrels, through a project to expand the productive capacities of the Orinoco oil belt, area that holds the largest reserves of crude oil in the planet. China National Petroleum Corporation and the Venezuelan state oil company Petróleos de Venezuela are making efforts to increase the current export that consists of 600,000 barrels a day and consolidate the South American country as a reliable supplier of crude oil for the Asian giant. The expansion plan includes the Chinese-Venezuelan joint company Sinovenza, the fourth most powerful in the country, located 300 kilometers to the east of Caracas in the eastern state of Monagas, in the middle of the Orinoco oil belt.
News from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Headline. The Venezuelan electoral power announced that the recall referendum would be held in 2017, activated by national security between Venezuela and Colombia. Venezuela builds an oil refinery in China.
Venezuela in the news. News from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Visión comunal, en contacto con las comunidades.